Welcome to this Tutor to You Sociology topic video looking at beliefs in society, focusing on cultural defence and cultural transition. There is a debate amongst sociologists about the extent to which secularisation has been influenced by globalisation. Whilst some argue that secularisation continues in contemporary society, others argue that the process of globalisation has led to the spread of religions, particularly those once confined to specific geographical locations. While migration and the imposition of Western cultural norms and values can be seen to have increased secularisation, there are arguments that suggest that this has caused an increase in religious belief through cultural defence and cultural transition. Steve Bruce argues that the process of globalisation has led to increased religiosity in some areas of the world. He argues that religious belief increases as a reaction to the imposition of external cultural values and norms. Changes to social attitudes lead to individuals reaffirming their commitment to religious values to protect elements of their culture and identity. In the face of change, people turn to religion for a sense of security and to ensure that their own culture is not lost. Bruce also sees the role of immigration as having an impact on religious belief, as migrants look for solidarity in their new homes by connecting with those that have common beliefs. Therefore, they seek out people with similar religious beliefs to themselves. Cultural defence, therefore, can be seen as a reaction to globalisation, and in particular the imposition of Western values on other areas of the world. With the spread of capitalism and the cultural homogeneity, or as some would suggest, cultural imperialism, that accompanies employment practices put in place by Western TNCs and the spread of Western media, people look to protect their own cultural values and identity. This can be seen through a reaffirmation of faith and, in more extreme examples, a growth of fundamentalism. Examples of this include the rise of Islamic fundamentalism in Iran in the late 1970s as a result of increased Western political and economic involvement in the region. However, it is not limited to Eastern nations, with the growth of Christian fundamentalism in the USA being seen as a reaction to permissive liberal social policies. Whilst cultural defence is seen as a reaction to external forces, cultural transition is seen to be a result of migration to the Western nations. As the process of globalisation has increased, more individuals look to move to Western nations, either for economic or social reasons. As people move to new communities, they gravitate towards others of the same religion to help them settle in their new homes. For migrants to the West, religious communities offer a haven of familiarity in an unfamiliar place and help their integration into their new home. This has a secondary effect of increasing the religious practice of a predominantly non-Christian faiths in countries such as the UK, which also allows for a spread of religious practice. In evaluating these concepts, the growth of non-Christian religions in the UK can be seen as evidence of the cultural transition argument. In 2018, the Social Attitudes Survey saw almost 10% of the UK identify as a member of a non-Christian faith, in comparison to just 3% 25 years earlier. For evidence of cultural defence, it can be argued that the rise in Catholicism prior to the fall of communism in the late 1980s was a reaction to the increased influence of Soviet policies that limited freedom of expression. Furthermore, following the fall of communism, Poland's Catholic community saw a sharp decline in attendance as people looked to re-establish their own norms and values. Finally, cultural defence can be seen to be responsible for the rise in fundamentalism in areas impacted by the growth of Western capitalism. Areas such as Iran and Afghanistan both saw increases in forms of Islamic fundamentalism in response to Western intervention. That concludes this Tutor to You Sociology topic video on cultural defence and cultural transition. Thanks for watching.